Welcome, Mog Senior High School. This is your teacher, Glenn Cadiz Arendilla, for 21st Century Literature, Philippine Literature. And we have here Lesson 2 of 21st Century Literature. And I have one section for this class, for this subject, and that is grade 12 sports of Mog Senior High School. So let's proceed. So since we're done with lesson 1, let's go to lesson 2. Lesson 2, text and authors from each region. So, what I need to know: enumerate Filipino authors across the regions, appreciate their contribution in the development of Philippine literature. What I know. So, just like in our previous lesson, the what I know part is for your assessment. Okay, pre-assessment to check if what are the things you have already known. So answer this one, 10 items in your separate notebooks. You just like write T if a statement is true and F statement if is false. Okay, so what's new? In the previous lesson, you have already identified the geographic, linguistic, and ethnic dimension of Philippine literary history from pre-colonial to contemporary. Now you are ready to move forward and learn more. Okay? So what's new? During 2014 conference, this is actually an article. Okay? So let me read you this one. Make it fast. Okay? During 2014 conference in Cebu City, the then Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, who is our former speaker now, replaced by a new speaker, Velasco, remarked that the national government should stop giving a bulk of its national budget to Metro Manila alone. He said, "Let us remember that Metro Manila is not the Philippines, and the Philippines is not Metro Manila. We should not always build in Manila. Other provinces and regions should share in the resources such as Clark, Zamboanga Peninsula, Caraga, and etc. Providing equal resources to all regions of the country has been continuous problem in more than century of our independence as a nation. The archipelagic nature of Republic of the Philippines has made the countries enjoy a rich biodiversity. Our topography, which consists of mountainous terrains, dense forests, plains, and coastal areas, allow us to enjoy endemic flora and fauna. As a result of this diverse environment, our ancestors developed separate cultures and languages or dialects. Okay? Our country has a total of 182 living languages. Wow, that's many. With these languages, our ancestors communicated, built their communities, and created unique cultural products separated by seas, cultures, and language. The Filipinos of today must consciously choose to maintain a united front in order for all of us to be truly equal and free of as a people in one nation. How can we do this? Perhaps our study of literature can help point us towards the direction of understanding different cultures across the country, and hopefully, this would provide the opportunity for a sense of pride to grow within us for being part of this nation. 21st century technology can help propel this goal into something obtainable. With the help of the internet, many contemporary authors from other regions are publishing their works online. Whether they are using their regional language, Filipino or English, these young authors are being to speak a national audience about their reality. Some 21st century literature of the Philippines can be found in blogs, online newspapers, online magazines, online journals, and more. Even now, in our time, in YouTube, the YouTube University. Okay, also a good number of performances of songs, skits, and amateur films showcasing regional works can be found in video sharing sites like, yeah, what I said, YouTube. All right. So, motivational questions. So, answer this in your separate notebook. From the article that you have read, answer the following questions. What are the five important points that Senator Alan Peter Cayetano emphasized? How do you describe the geographical location of the Philippines? How do these contribute to the development of our literature? Okay, so let's go to us. What is it? Texts and authors from each region. This part shows the various texts and authors from different regions in the country. Okay, region of the Philippines. So this is the map of the Philippines. Alright, so you have seen the Cordillera Administrative Region, Ilocos Region, Cagayan Valley, Central Luzon, Calabarzon, National Capital Region, Bicol Region, Damimaropa, Western Visayas, Negros, Zamboanga Peninsula, Northern Mindanao. We're here in Northern Mindanao, Caraga, Davao, Autonomous Region, and Soxargen. You're very familiar of this one, especially you, grade 12 sports. You are like, part of the Palarong Pambansa. So you have dealt into different people from this side of the country, right? You're so very lucky, you know. Now, the table below presents the current regional divisions of the Philippines. All right. Sample of 21st century Filipino authors associated with each region are listed. Okay, so here are the regions and examples of their writers. So in NCR, the National Capital Region, which include the Manila, they have writers like Michael Coroza, very contemporary, okay, famous writers in their regions. Charleston Ong, Norman Wilwaiko, Anna Maria likes very contemporary. Even Lord de Vera is here. Okay, artist writer. Region One, the Ilocos region. Okay, I'm not really familiar of these new writers, except Manuel Argilia. I know Manuel Argilia, but Tabag, Rambod, and we will know them more. Okay, Region 2, Cagayan Valley, Region Batanes, Cagayan Isabela, CAR, the Cordillera Administrative Region, Region 3, Region 4. So you have to go through this and read by each region. And here in Region 10, I don't know if we know them, but we know the places. Northern Mindanao Region, Bukidnon, Camiguin, Lanao del Norte, Misamis Oriental, that includes as Cagayan de Oro, Misamis Occidental. Our contemporary writers in 21st centuries are Ralph Semeno Galan, Judith Darmdas, Anthony Tan. Okay, so I have some familiarity, but I really don't know more about them. So region 12, 11, 12, 13. So these are the list of names of our writers. Now, we have some notable writers from different regions. We have here Michael Curoza, Manuel Argilia. I know Manuel Argilia. Okay, he was the writer of How My Brother Leon Brought Home a Wife, which received first prize in the Commonwealth Literary Contest. You read that, okay? You research How My Brother Leon Brought Home a Wife. You really have to read that. Okay, it's a very good story. And here, Anthony Tan was born um, in Sulu, very from Mindanao. Okay, this an MSU Iligan Institute Technology where he continues to teach. Alright, so very Mindanao. We have here Anthony Tan. We have Jose Inigo Moore Lacambra Ayala, Merly Alunan, Ivy Alvarez, and very contemporary Suzette Severo Doctolero. You're very familiar of her works in GMA, in the channel, in Cantadia Reboot, Amaya, My Husband's Lover, and more novels for TV series. We have also Ida Rivera Ford, was born in Hulusulu. She became an editor in the first two issues of Sons and Coral in Silliman University. Okay, sample works here. You read the works MidSummer. So in this class, you will have to take time reading. Okay, aside from reading the messages of your boyfriend and girlfriends, you have to read more here in our class. Okay, a sample read works MidSummer by Manuel Argilia. Read this one. All right, and if you're done, you read the next one. Sample 2, Love in the Corn Husk by Ida Rivera Ford. So you read, and then once you're done with this one, you read the poetry, the poem of Anthony Tan, Crossing the River. Okay, so you read, and a sample of a song, Karaniwang Tao by Joey Ayala. For those music lovers, you're very familiar of this Karaniwang Tao. It's a poem actually, and then put some music and became a song. Right? All I know is just Karaniwang Tao, saan ka tatakbo? Tararandandan. But these are the words. Okay? So you read or maybe you sing. Now, what's more, in your activity notebook, enumerate at least three contributions of literature of each of the following writers. So everything is above, okay, is in the module. So identify Michael Coraza, Ivy Alvarez, Suzette Doctolero, Anthony Tan, Manuel Argilia. Activity 2, appreciating literary pieces, noting details in your notebook, write the letter of your answer. So just like what, since you have read the Midsummer above our module, so write the answers after this one. Okay, from the love and corn husk. So write the answer. So you really need to read before answering this, because you cannot answer if you did not, or you will not read. Now essay, answer generously the following questions. How did the man and the young lady cross each other's path? Okay, so answer the questions in your separate notebook. So what I have learned, reflect on the learning that you have gained after taking up lesson or this lesson in completing the given chart. So complete the chart. What were your misconceptions about literature prior to taking up this lesson? So I thought, what are your misconceptions? Example, like prior to this lesson, what are your judgments or misconceptions? Like, boring literature, the literature is boring, the literature is time consuming, the literature is not good, the literature is ugly. Okay, so you thought of that. Then what's new or additional learning have you had after taking up this lesson in terms of contribution of literature? So you learned that. What are the things you have learned after this one? Now the assessment instruction, what word in the box or in the box that correspond each of the following statements below. So answer the 10 questions and choose the answers inside the box. So what can I do? Now, you are the editor of a literary section of a newspaper. So here in this part, you need to write a 500 word feature article on a Filipino contemporary 21st century author from outside your region. Meaning, you look for a literary piece from an author not from this region 10 but outside region 10. So, be it a short story, be it a novel, be it a poem, be it a song. Okay, very contemporary, meaning very new, very 21st century. Do a library or online search on a noteworthy writer. Do not limit yourself to those cited in the table of authors above, but be on the lookout for a lesser known author you believe to be promising. Make sure that you that your that your feature provides the following information: the background of the author, a short overview of author's literary works, a short sampling of author's works together with your commentary, and the article by highlighting what are the author's contribution to contemporary Philippine literature. So you need to write a 500 word feature articles, a Filipino are a contemporary author. So you look for an author as much as possible as instructed, a lesser known or less known author. If you're the editor, how are you going to promote that author, Filipino author, in your newspaper? Okay, so you need to write 500 word feature. So mahaba-haba ni siya, 500 words, but I'll give you a longer time for the deadline of this one. Okay, don't worry for the deadline. So this is how am I going to check your composition. Okay, so uh, we're done with lesson 2. Congratulations, you're done and we're done. All right, so um, for Sports 12 Mog Senior High School, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And whatever instructions, or I'll give more or further instructions in our group chats, in our GC later on. And I already had given you the um, the instructions on how to submit your outputs or pass your outputs. So if you're done with lesson 1, you submit it already so that I could check it. And if you're not yet done, just continue answering, but we'll proceed to lesson 2. Okay? So thank you for listening. Have a good day, and I'll see you